Hey guys. Hello. Hope you guys are having a fantastic week so far. Wanted to talk to you real quick. I have been having some conversations with some people this week about monetizing your expertise for maximum impact. And I have had several people say, well, I'm not really an expert in anything. And so I just want to remind you that you have a skill. Many of you have education. Many of you have a learned talent, skill. Many of you have had experience where you've learned something, and so you can give that more value by sharing it with more people. And to say that we don't have an expertise, I know that it's that word expertise that sounds a little intimidating, because when we think about experts, we think about highly intelligent people in a specific field who have been in that field for many years. And so I get the concept of being an expert. But the fact of the matter is, many of you are already monetizing your expertise. What do I mean? And many of you have gone to school, you've gone to trade school, you've gone to college, and you've learned a skill, you've learned a trade, you've received knowledge in a specific area. You went out to find a job in that specific area. You got the job in that specific area, and now you're working for someone. You're sharing your gift, talent, skill, your knowledge with someone, and they are making money. And in return, you receive money through a paycheck. So you have already monetized your expertise. You've monetized your skill, talent, trade by going in, getting a job, and receiving money for it. What I do is I help entrepreneurs, service-based, providers, ministers, authors, speakers. I help you monetize your expertise for maximum impact. What do I mean by that? This means maybe going beyond, and usually, not just maybe, but usually going beyond that 9 to 5. This means taking your skill, talent, knowledge out into the world, serving more people through various platforms, and guess what? You keep 100% of the income. So that's what I love to do as a coach in that area. So, wow, I'm a little stuffy today. So when I think about the clients that I've already served, this is how we have monetized their expertise. We've monetized. I have one client. She loves jewelry. She's in the second season of her life, and she wanted to do something that was fun, that she was passionate about. She loves jewelry, so she has started an online jewelry store. And so she and her knowledge of jewelry, her knowledge of the gems, her knowledge of the quality of jewelry is her expertise, and she is selling it to receive income. So she's doing that. Another client that I have, she's a minister. Actually, she's a pastor, the one that I'm specifically thinking about. And she has decided that she wants to serve more. She wants to make a bigger impact. And so she has authored books. And so as a coach in that area, I have helped her publish 2 books. She has a book in the area of prayer. It's called Prayer Champions. And she just has her Christian fiction. I'm so proud of her. And that was a passion of hers. But she gets to share what's important to her, which includes the gospel and Christian living. She gets to share that with more people. She gets to serve more people with the good news of the gospel, with Christian living, with the love of God. But in the same way, as an author selling her books, yes, she has monetized her gift. She has monetized her expertise, her knowledge in the Bible, her relationship with Christ. So she's monetized that. And so these are just two ways that two of my clients have done that. And when you monetize your expertise, there's so many ways that we can do that. We can do it, as a counselor, I have monetized my expertise. I have my own counseling business. I'm a coach. I have monetized my expertise. I've been a coach and mentor now for over 13 years. And so what I have learned, my education, I have also have certification as a coach. I'm a financial coach. I'm a Christian life coach. So I have these certifications, but I also have this experience. And so I'm monetizing my expertise, but not just monetizing my expertise. I'm doing it for maximum impact. That means I'm not just sharing it at this 9 to 5, or I'm not just sharing it with this nonprofit. Many of you work for nonprofits. Many of you volunteer. And so you are sharing your expertise, but you're not monetizing it. There is a way to serve more people and receive an income. And there is no shame in that. There is no shame in being a worker who is worth his wages. There is no shame in that. And so you can monetize your expertise through creating a course, having a podcast, doing a blog, becoming an author, becoming a speaker. And if you are a speaker, or if you have these things in place and you're doing it just out of a passion, you have the opportunity to monetize it and create income. Why is this important? Because passion doesn't pay bills unless money is being manifested from that passion. Let's just get real. Okay? Let's just get real. I remember when I first started coaching, and I had talked to, and I have invested in my own coaches because I understand the value of coaching. But I had talked to a coach and I was sharing what I was doing. And I told him my prices and all the content that I was giving, all that I was pouring out. And he said, "It sounds like you have a ministry." Well, actually, it was a ministry for me when I first started coaching. This is exactly what it was. It started out as ministry. I would coach people for months, even years, and not charge. Now, of course, they bless me sometimes with what they call love offerings, or, dinner, or someone even blessed me with a trip. But the fact of the matter is, it was ministry for me. So when it came down to charging, it wasn't comfortable. And so I began charging very small. But guess what? When I did the budget, what I was charging would not cover all of my bills, including my student loan. So, that was a wake-up call for my coach to say, "It sounds like you have a ministry," when I am saying I have a business. No, honey, it's not paying the bills. So, and sometimes Christians, because of the way we've been taught about money and wealth, sometimes we have some skewed ideas about it, or sometimes, we get this, this holy attitude about, poverty and lack, and how it's supposed to make us more humble. And I don't understand how you can see all the blessings that God talks about in the Bible, and the wealth that he does not mind his children having. In the Old Testament, God made sure that his children were wealthy. David said that God's seed does not beg for bread. So, but sometimes because of our teaching, we have some mindsets that need to be dealt with, and I do help people with that. So if you are one who struggle with a poverty mentality, or a mentality that as a Christian you're not supposed to have wealth, contact me. Let me help you in that area. Okay, the Bible says that money answereth the thing. This is the world system. We are in the world, but we're not of the world. But guess what? We have to work this world system. And I hear a lot of people say they want to do more. They want to serve more. They want to help more. How are you going to do that? How are you going to do that if you have no money? How are you going to do that if you have no platform, if people don't know you? And so that's another thing that I love as a coach, is I am able to help people serve more people. Build your platform, become an influencer marketer. I mean, and again, here's another issue that a lot of people have, because when you think about putting yourself out there, and I was one of those people, when you think about going to the front of the line or stepping on stage, you don't feel necessarily comfortable because you're being seen. And sometimes, you equate being seen or having a name with pride and haughtiness. Another issue, another mindset that needs to be dealt with, okay? So back to my point. So when we are monetizing our expertise, don't get stuck on the word expert, because you know something, you have a passion about something, you have learned something that can be monetized, and that's what I can help you with. And let me just give you this last this last testimony, because it was such a blessing, and this is really how I got started in monetizing my expertise. I worked in military childcare for 15 years, but there was a season when I was a supervisor, but I also worked in the classroom. So we had an early intervention consultant come, and I had special needs children in my classroom, and she and I just automatically connected, and we had great conversations about child development. We had great conversations about the children that were in my care. And one day she was very frustrated, and she was frustrated because she had so much to do. She felt overwhelmed because she had created a game that, if I remember correctly, Lakeshore, if you know anything about child development, you've probably heard about Lakeshore toys and games that Lakeshore had picked up, and she did not have help to produce her games. And so, of course, I offered to help her. I thought it was very exciting that she had created a game, because during that time I had created a couple myself. And I loved the idea of helping her with that. And I did. I helped her with that. Well, it wasn't maybe 3 or 4 weeks later that she approached me about working for the Middle Georgia Community Action Agency as a trainer. And what I would do is I would go into the licensed child development houses, the women who were doing child care in their homes. I would conduct trainings, because they had so many hours that they had to get each year, and I would conduct trainings for them. Well, when she offered the idea of going on an interview for that, what was my first thought? Whoa, I'm not an expert. I'm not a trainer. And I spoke that to her. I was like, that sounds a little over my head. And then I went on to say, because at the time I was still working on my degree, and I told her, I don't have my degree yet. And she said, Lisa, I've talked to you. You know this stuff. I think you would be great. I love your personality. So she just really encouraged me to go to the interview. And I did. And just to make a long story short, I was offered the position at $100 an hour for the training. And so here I am with this child development knowledge, this years of knowledge and experience that I had. I just monetized it outside of my 9 to 5. So I was making 400, 400 bucks, training, two to 400 bucks per training day, because that's really, I either train 2 hours or 4 hours. So that was a nice little piece of change, doing something that I love to do, giving out something that I was comfortable giving out, And once I really thought about the possibilities with that, I went on to get a training certification, and I began to market myself to child care agencies and conferences. I've had the pleasure of speaking on large platforms teaching child development. So that's how I began monetizing that particular expertise. Now, did I still consider myself an expert at the time? No, I did not. Now, but I thank God that I had that opportunity, because I still had the knowledge. I still had the wealth of understanding. And so many of you have knowledge, you have understanding, you've been trained, you have the experience. And it doesn't matter if you've had formal education or not. This is a way for you to monetize a skill, a talent, knowledge, okay? And many of you say you want to serve more. You say you want to make a bigger impact in the world. Do not let that word expert stop you from doing that. Contact me. Leave a message in the hello, Hope. Hi, Julie, Donna, Kay, Carol. Oh, it's so good to see you guys join me. Are you relating to what I'm talking about? Can you relate to what I'm talking about? Hope, I know you've made a big impact with your testimony. You've used some of your experience. Julie, another one. Donna is actually a very special friend of mine who has allowed me to mentor and coach her. She's one of the ministry leaders that I have worked with, who is getting her platform built because she wants to serve more people. She, not only did I help her create her book, publish her book, but also she has an online talk show called Girl Chat. And guess what? She is using her expertise, her love of God, her study as a minister, her talents to get the word out, to become an influencer. That's something that I love to do. I help you become a greater influencer, make a bigger impact, but also show you how to monetize it. So thank you guys for joining me. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to comment, speak up in the comment, message me if you think you would be interested in more information about how I can help you do this. If you feel stuck, if you know you have some mindsets that need to be changed, then by all means message me. But you guys have a great rest of the week. Talk soon. Bye-bye.